here to answer your questions, to resolve your issues here and now and here, and because I don't believe in committees. I don't believe in postponing decisions which can be taken immediately. And I just want you to know that no matter what the issues are, they are issues. They have to be resolved. We may not be able to resolve them right now because we have constraints of IMF, and we may not have some fiscal space here and there. But we will take a decision, and we will resolve them over a period of time. But directionally, we'll give a signal. If there's a taxes, let's say turnover tax. I think there was 1.5% of turnover tax. We just reduced it to 1.25, saying that it will go away in the next 2-3 years. That kind of signal everybody knows, because when you are just investing in any country, any venture, you basically think long term. These are not 6-month cycles or 12-month cycles. So when you directionally know this is going to happen, you are at ease. You know that this is going to happen. And then the credibility of the government. So whatever I say, and if I just basically renege 6 months later, that's not going to help. Okay. So you know that this time around I didn't have to go and just get it passed through the ECC and the cabinet, that to this textile and other exporting groups, that we give them gas at $6.50 and give electricity at 9 cents. I didn't have to do it, but I had promised on the floor of the parliament that we'll do it for this next year. So I thought it necessary that we will basically reiterate it through the ECC and cabinet decision. Put their minds at peace. Let me tell you what, they had not really calculated the whole thing properly in the budget. The cost to me is going to be twice as much as we thought. So my colleague says, Shaukat Sahab, you know how it is additionality in the costs? I said, that doesn't matter. If we have given a word, we'll stand by that. We'll make sure that this is not misused, because that's the understanding. Otherwise, even if it costs me 3 times, we'll stand by. So that's the way I think, because I'm a private sector person. I understand that people, when they invest under a kind of certain policy guidelines of the government. So same thing with the overseas chamber. I know that you guys brought in a lot of capital, and capital has no religion, no geographic boundaries. It will go where it is safe, where it makes money. Otherwise, it will flow out. And we have seen a lot of capital flowing out of Pakistan, from the banking sector, pharmaceuticals, and some others. And maybe a few of you are still thinking of doing the same thing. But I can assure you, have faith in us, have faith in this man sitting over here, and we will make sure that we'll keep you happy, because that's my task, keep you happy. Because if you are happy, then you'll make your head offices happy, and they will then invest more. So it's my interest that I keep you happy. Okay. So this is my pledge to you. And don't you think that there is any decision which for me is difficult. No. I just believe making you happy is the primary objective. I understand that there are issues, some of those issues which we can, I can discuss over here later on, and those issues are burning issues. We will discuss them today. And some of those issues, one is obviously a turnover tax issue, because, and especially OMCs, they have a, turnover tax issues. Their corporate dividend, issue, which basically was exempted and then put back last year, and it's frankly an IMF conditionality. And I don't believe in that, by the way. I just don't believe in that, it's a regressive tax, Why the hell can't companies, offset, tax if they are in one group? We'll also be looking at this ruling on the WWF, a kind of liability which cannot be adjusted as tax refunds. I've just told the chairman FBR to talk to us. There is this question, people are just a bit apprehensive. We talked about point of sale, and those machines are not, I think you should rest assured that we are single-minded. What is happening today is that to achieve the integration, the software which had to be harmonized, there are a lot of other capacity building to be done within FBR, both on, a kind of computing, CPU and disk capacity and then connectivity. So those things had to be done. Is being done. We believe that we will hit, 70 to 80,000 to 100,000, retailers this year and move on. So don't worry about that. I also believe that there are concerns about a few other things. Global registration, and I think this is the first time we have done that. I think there are apprehensions, so we'll look into that. Can we just, and this also I'm sure has come from IMF. There are certain things about deposit of unpaid dividends and government treasury and etc. etc. We'll take a look at it. I've been just given this that these are concerns. You also have a problem of attendance on AGM, through video links. Absolutely, why not? So, Chairman SCCP is not here. Otherwise, we could have taken a decision right now. But we will be taking a decision. So, effectively, what I'm saying is that the issues you will raise today and issues you will raise in days to come will be accorded the highest priority as far as I'm concerned. So let me talk about, where we are in the economy a little bit before we just open for the questions. What we did, last week with the Prime Minister, this is after, 1.5, 2 months of, exercise. My EAC, which is the Economic Advisory Council, some of you are members of that. They participated and we prepared 14 plans, short, medium, long-term plans of areas like, how to improve the revenues of the government, the power sector, the housing, agriculture, industry, exports, CPAC, IT. There are 14 areas. And after 1972, the planning in Pakistan economy was abandoned because we dismantled the Pakistan, the Planning Commission. Now become basically a project approving and implementation, division. And because we did not have, short, medium, long-term plans, we obviously, we had, zigzagging of, policies. So this time around, I just involved the government, which means the minister and their deputy minister or so, plus private sector people, so stakeholders. And most of the presentations were actually made by the private sector people to the Prime Minister. So those plans are there, and we will share them. We'll give you those plans, this thick, But what are we going to do? Would they go back, and be sitting on shelves? No. They will be living documents. Every month, the same teams will basically we stand in front of the Prime Minister and say, this is what we promised on a short-term basis, medium and long, this is what we have achieved, and this is what we have not achieved. So this is a kind of review process. You do it all the time in your businesses. Government was not doing it. This was supposed to be done by the Planning Commission. But as Planning Commission had become redundant, so nobody was doing it. So it was a piecemeal thing, by individual ministries. Now this will now come under the finance. I am going to have a cell, which and I think you probably know a lady sitting here, Aisha Aziz, who basically will be working with me in the Ministry of Finance, and she is going to coordinate this, but it will be done professionally. People, who are professional, analysts, will take them from PIDE. This, that PIDE is a government institution run by Nadeemul Haq, and they'll help us to organize these meetings with the Prime Minister for each one of those ministries. So there will be some, there's a method to the madness. And after, God knows how many years, after 1972, okay, that's a good thing. Our revenues are growing well. As I mentioned that, we, I think in the budget speech and later on, that there are 2 or 3 things which we are doing. One is that we are trying to expand the tax base, what we call broadening, and where we are using technology. Now we got data from various sources, from the electricity bills, telephone bills, deposit data, travel, etc. So we have now, the profile of the customers, unregistered voters also, by name. There are 7.2 million, names with the FBR and 15 million names with Nadra. They are now talking to each other, and through artificial intelligence and comparing it with the behavior with the registered, kind of taxpayers, we have just gone to the unregistered, and we can, accuracy of 80 to 90%, we can tell people what your income level is and how much tax you should pay. 80 to 90%. Now, who's going to knock the door? Would the FBR going to knock the door? So what I promised in the budget was the harassment of FBR, and this is not casting any aspersions on people who are sitting over here. But generally, there is a perception that there is harassment over there. That they issue notices and they make life miserable. So there will be universal self-assessment, and there will be third-party audits. Only a fraction, maybe 2 or 3%, or whatever the FBR says, risk-based, that this guy has not declared, majority of the income, it will be given to a third party, which means from ICAP will take, maybe 50, 100, people, and only then they will, just interface with the taxpayer, which means FBR is out, all told. Similar thing for broadening, there will be a knock. A knock is going to be maybe a text message which comes and says, Mr. Tareen, this is what you by the way are not a taxpayer, registered taxpayer. This is what your income is. This is the tax you have to pay. Please deposit the tax. It will be in your interest to deposit the tax. Maybe another reminder. And 2, 3 reminders if the guy does not pay. Maybe there's another third-party person can call and say, you don't do it. And then I have law. The law is I'm going to arrest them. If they believe they're too smart, and if we have basically done all these things to reduce harassment and they're still not paying, if we have evidence, then we'll basically pick up few people. So that's, I am very clear that, this, and when I met the German, economic minister, several years ago, and she said, in our country, what we say, there's no representation without taxation. If you're not a taxpayer, you have to pay taxes, then you have no bloody right to be a citizen of our country. So we take all actions. So, I am being very soft, I'm not being as harsh as they are. But it's about time that people who are not paying taxes, they start paying taxes, because people like you and me, we suffer because we pay taxes, and the country actually doesn't progress. So no harassment, but a very polite way of reaching those, that's one, that's broadening. On the retail side, 18 trillion rupees of retail sales, we capture only 3.5 trillion. And we only collect 150 billion from the retailers. Okay. So this has to change. So what we are going to do is connect their, POSs. We are going to, I'm going to pay for new POS machines. I'm going to take them up to half a million in the next couple of years. And they will be linked. And now how are we going to implement that? By giving prizes. We'll start giving prizes to people. So the consumer is going to go and ask for a certain receipt, say, this is the receipt we need. To harmonize that across all the, the POS, machine holders, we had to work a lot. We actually, the software had to be, harmonized. So it's going to be one, specific type of receipt. We get the receipt, we put it in, the box, and give prizes, which will start, maybe it'll be a humble start, because obviously the volumes are not going to be that much. But effectively, we are going to, within this year, we are going to just take it up to 1 billion rupees of prizes every month. Every month. And if I have to increase that, I will do that. But we are going to force the housewives and the people, the consumer, to tell the, the retailer that we need this pakka receipt. You can't just, give us a kacha receipt. Because as far as they're concerned, they're already being charged the goddamn sales tax, and actually that's not being paid to the government. So that is one, that's another way. Good news today is the government has won the appeal on the tax track and trace. It was dismissed by the Sindh government today, the appeal. So we are going to implement that, and on some industries where we believe there's a lot of theft. That again will help you, because most of your companies, whether tobacco and drinks, like soft drinks and others, they just complain that there are a lot of number twos in the market who don't pay taxes, and actually they just so I believe that we will be moving in the right direction as far as the revenues are concerned. But the good news in the first 45 days, first 45 days of this year has never happened in the history of this country for a long time. They were running at least 45 to 50% ahead of our targets. So last year, which means if we said that we will be 24% higher in revenues this year, and a lot of economists said that this is crap. These guys can't do it. We are running at least twice as much or rather as high as targets are concerned. So we are doing well, and now we kick in these 2 or 3 initiatives, we probably will do even better. Remittances are holding up, 2.7 billion, but RDA, I just had this discussion at the central bank. We are going to be more focused on that. I believe that the RDA is going to do better. Remittances probably have done very well. So we may not have, we may have some challenges over there, but then we are introducing new programs to support remittances of workers' remittances. RDAs with the professional, as you know. We exports and imports. There are concerns that imports have risen faster than we thought, and there is a current account deficit. I can assure you, we just review this every week, and we know that it's going to go up, but it will not go beyond 2.5% of GDP, and we have made arrangements because the exports will take a little time to just start growing. But you have just realized that when I met the IT people, They came for a 3 billion rupee kind of help, and I gave them 13 billion rupees. And they actually could not believe it. Because that's one area, I believe, is going to grow faster than the rest of the industry, the exporting industry, which means they are growing at 47%, and this time they are going to grow by 75%. I want them to grow by 100%. If they keep growing 100% in 5-6 years' time, our IT exports are going to be $60 billion. It's not something which has not been done. I mean, in India, the first billion was 2000, and in 2010 they crossed 100 billion. So my point is that they've done it, we can also do it. But focused approach, what they need, they should get, and we are going to do that. I believe that power sector, energy sector is our Achilles heel. I believe that we have to fix it. So we are trying to fix it because these problems are not doing of this government. If there has been excess capacity which has been built, and we basically have to consume that excess capacity, which will take time. So 5 to 7 years probably will take, it will take us to just use this capacity, which is increasing even now, because there are projects that have been started, we just can't stop them in midway. So there will be a time lag on that, and there will be some, strain on us. So all we have to do is 5 to 7 years, we have to get some reprieve. How do we do that? We just got in the IPPs 850 billion rupees. We have to do it with the others. And also, we have to start thinking, total power sector, energy sector. Built in a lot of, new electricity. Nobody, paid, attention on transmission. Today, your transmission limitation is 24,000 megawatts. So I believe that we have to now start investing, and I think the energy ministry is doing all it can, which means Hamad Raza, Azhar and co. They're working day and night to take care of these issues, and I have confidence that in the next few months you will see that policy decisions will be taken, that this problem of ours, is taken care of. The two other issues I'd like to talk about, I know that you know about what we are doing with the agriculture and what we are doing in industry, the raw materials, we reduce duties, etc. We are just giving incentives for value addition. But the two issues, one is inflation, and it really affects everybody. And inflation is mostly food inflation. If you see that our core inflation is around 7%, 6.95, it has stayed there for many, many months now. It is the food inflation. Food inflation mostly is coming out of international prices, because we are a net importer of food now. And so whatever is the international price, we have to actually, our local prices have to mirror those. Now, but there are issues locally also, because we have not paid attention to the agriculture sector. Our production in different things, has basically lagged behind. And today, 70% of our lentils are being imported. Can you imagine? In Pakistan, which is a stable diet, and they're being imported. So we have to not only increase production, but we also have to remove, all those, avenues where the hoarders, people who just exploit, the consumers, they are removed. The farmer to the retail, kind of price gap runs into 300, 400, 500%. Onion, farmer gets 4 rupees a kilo in Jacobabad, and when the wholesaler sells it at 20 rupees and the retailer gets it at 30 rupees. So this is not on. What the hell is going on? Transportation costs cannot be 400% or 200% or 300%. So we are looking at, how to, control these. One could be administrative measures, but the other is the market measures. So I've just said that we'll basically, for some of these, staple, items, we will have strategic reserves. We will basically fight market with market. So if they just exploit the market, we'll flood the market in those areas, with lower price, goods. And we can only do it for 5, 6, 7 items, and we'll do it and try to just tell the middleman that you cannot get away with murder. That's one. But end of the day, we have to build, permanent infrastructure. Your commodity warehousing, your cold storages, agri malls, bringing the farmer and the wholesaler, retailer, at one place. All those things, like in the agri mall, we are building 5,000 of them this year, and we're going to just multiply in the next few years. And that will, the eventual way of handling this kind of. But this issue is here. It is coming down. We saw inflation at 8.4%, last month. We probably will see it coming down slowly. But out of that, 8.4 or 8.7, it is mostly it is food inflation. Okay. And frankly, some people told me, you just basically, how about reducing discount rate? I said discount rate, is the prerogative of the Central Bank of Pakistan, State Bank of Pakistan, but actually goes with core inflation. So core inflation is 7%, so our rate is 7%. I think they have been pretty accommodative. Then there's another big program coming up, which is the Kamyab Pakistan program. This is the first time we are going to be attacking the poverty at the grassroots level in an organized manner. And we are not going to wait for the trickle down. Trickle down will happen as our economy will grow probably 5% this year and 6% next year. But this program, which is well publicized, we are going to hopefully launch, the first I think phase by early next month. And that will also boost the income levels of our people in the lower income groups, and it's a natural transition from what we have done through Ehsaas, BISP, the handouts. Handouts are good. They help the people, for the time being. They're not good in the long run, neither for them nor for the country. So we have to now make them productive. We have to give them, as they say, the means to catch the fish, not just give them the fish. So this is a major step forward. And you will see that the income levels of, people, at the bottom, 25-30% of the population will grow. So prosperity in this country will be, that much higher. So, on the growths, where are we heading? You probably will be happy to know that, what we predicated our 3.94%, on LSM of 9.8%, actually it came out to be 14.5%. So, we believe that we probably grew faster than 3.94% last year. And if we can carry that momentum, I'm sure you guys, sentiment you guys have, within your companies and what I hear from outside, we will inshallah crack the 5%. But I want this 5% to be A, inclusive, and B, sustainable. It's no fun having a 5% or 6%, but we also had, experience in the past, and then we just drop, and go back into some kind of recession. So I would much rather finish here, and I think I have taken enough of your time. We still have, clearly more than 45-50 minutes for question and answers. So what I would appreciate is you just basically ask a question, first introduce yourself, and if we can resolve the question right here, your issue right here and now, we will do it. Otherwise, we have people over here, and I will take notes, and we will get back to you.